You're not on my level. I don't need to address you, bro.
Leave it. They're looking for points.
I don't need to address you, bro. You're not on.
Anthony Joshua is not here to play games. As the highly anticipated fight with Daniel Dubois approaches, Joshua's frustration and anger have reached a boiling point, especially after Dubois' recent remarks. During an Instagram live session, Joshua couldn't hide his fury, going off on Dubois after the young boxer suggested that Joshua might only win the fight if he bribed the referee and judges. Dubois' comments didn't just question Joshua's ability, they painted a picture of a rigged fight, implying that Joshua is no longer capable of winning on his own merit. This really set Joshua off, as it made him feel like Dubois was writing him off before they even stepped into the ring on September 21st. Both Joshua and Dubois have been training relentlessly for this upcoming fight, pushing their bodies to the absolute limit in preparation for what promises to be one of the most intense battles of their careers. For both men, losing is simply not an option. They've adopted a no-nonsense approach to their training and mental preparation, understanding that only one of them will emerge victorious. But as the days tick down to fight night, the differences in their training styles reveal much about where they are in their careers and the strategies they're likely to bring into the ring. Joshua, the more experienced of the two, has approached this fight methodically. His training has been focused on precision, technique, and experience. Joshua knows that his best chance at victory lies in his ability to outthink Dubois, to stay composed under pressure, and to use his experience to exploit any weaknesses in Dubois' game. On the other hand, Dubois' training has been raw and intense, driven by a burning desire to prove himself and capitalize on his youth and power. Dubois is the young lion looking to make his mark, and he's coming into this fight with a hunger that can only come from someone who feels they have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Both fighters are driven by the same goal, to destroy the other and claim victory. But how they've gone about their preparations reveals much about their mindsets. Joshua, seasoned by years in the ring, knows that one mistake could cost him the fight. He's focused on refining his skills, ensuring that he can adapt to whatever Dubois throws at him. Dubois, on the other hand, is banking on his raw power and relentless aggression. He's preparing to overwhelm Joshua, to press him from the opening bell and not let up until he's standing over a fallen Joshua with his hand raised in victory. Despite the intense training and focus both fighters have displayed, things had remained professional until Dubois decided to stir the pot on social media. After a hard day's work, Dubois went live on Instagram, throwing taunts at Joshua without directly naming him. But let's be real, everyone knew exactly who he was talking about. Dubois took shots at Joshua, mocking him and suggesting that he wouldn't stand a chance in the ring without some outside help. When Joshua saw this, he didn't hold back in his response. He fired back with such intensity that it was clear he was ready to take things to the next level, both in and out of the ring. "You're not on my level, bro," Joshua snapped during his live response. "I don't even need to address you. You're not on my level." Joshua's anger was palpable, and it was clear that Dubois had managed to get under his skin. But was that Dubois' plan all along? To rattle Joshua mentally before they even stepped into the ring? If so, it seemed to be working. Dubois has effectively used social media as part of his strategy. He's not just training for the fight, he's playing mind games, trying to get into Joshua's head and throw him off balance. By constantly taunting Joshua, Dubois hopes to unsettle him, to make him doubt himself when they finally meet in the ring. These psychological tactics are all part of Dubois' plan to make the fight as difficult as possible for Joshua. And while some people criticize this as an underhanded tactic that has no place in boxing, Dubois argues that every method is fair game as long as it doesn't break the official rules of the sport. "I'm just getting started," Dubois said with a smile during one of his training sessions. "When I get in that ring, Joshua's going to see what I'm really made of." That smile is unsettling. It's as if Dubois believes he's already won the battle before the real fight even begins. You can see how that could drive someone like Joshua mad. He's put in the work, he's prepared himself mentally and physically, and here comes this young upstart who thinks he can walk in and take it all away. You can't really blame Joshua for being furious with Dubois. Haven't we all felt that way before? When someone disrespects you publicly, it's hard to keep your cool. Joshua has been a professional his whole career, but even he has his limits. You can't blame me for feeling so mad at Dubois, Joshua said in a recent interview. The guy has been insulting me at every turn, and he does it on social media where everyone can see. It's one thing to have rivalry in the sport, but the disrespect he's shown is crossing the line. I won't take this any further. There's a limit to what I'll tolerate, and Dubois needs to understand that. With tensions running high, let's dive into some predictions for this highly anticipated fight. Former world lightweight champion Anthony Crolla, who has witnessed countless boxing bouts and understands the intricacies of the sport, shared his insights on the upcoming clash. Reflecting on the Olympics and the intense training regimens that fighters like Joshua and Dubois exhibited during their amateur careers, Crolla highlighted the significance of Joshua's experience as an Olympic gold medalist. According to Crolla, this experience has given Joshua a level of composure and discipline that is unmatched in the ring. Joshua's been here before, Crolla said. He knows what it takes to win at the highest level, and that gives him an edge that Dubois just doesn't have yet. But Crolla didn't dismiss Dubois' chances either. He acknowledged Dubois' rapid rise in the boxing world and his impressive knockout record. Dubois has been making waves with his knockout power and relentless aggression. Despite being the younger and less experienced fighter, he's shown that he can stand toe-to-toe with seasoned boxers. That makes him a dangerous contender. From Crolla's perspective, the outcome of the fight is still uncertain. While he leans towards Joshua, citing his experience and tactical prowess as key factors that might secure him the win, Crolla also recognizes that Dubois' power and hunger to prove himself make him a formidable opponent. I can't decide whether this fight will be over early or if a J catches up with Dubois late in the fight, Crolla mused. It's not a foregone conclusion by any means, but I'm going with a J to win by stoppage. Crolla's prediction that the fight will likely go in favor of Anthony Joshua is rooted in his comprehensive understanding of both fighters' skills and strategies. He pointed out that Joshua's ability to neutralize opponents, particularly in the early rounds, is a key factor that could determine the outcome of the fight. Joshua is well known for his exceptional ring craft and strategic approach. He knows how to exploit openings and impose his will on his opponents from the outset. My worry for Dubois is that AJ has a fantastic right hand, and although Daniel takes a good shot, it's another matter taking that right off Joshua in small gloves. However, Crolla didn't completely rule out Dubois' chances. If Dubois is still there after 4 rounds, then it could become his type of fight, Crolla added, and it's a real toss-up as to who has the heavier hands. While Crolla leans towards Joshua, not everyone agrees with his assessment. Fraser Clark, another seasoned boxing analyst, offers a markedly different perspective on the upcoming bout. While Crolla is focusing on Joshua's experience and tactical prowess,